Hey Sage, how are you?
Hey, what's going on? Can you see me?
I can, yes, thank you.
All right, cool. You bet.
Awesome. Okay, so I want to know what you've been up to. It's been a few years. I know you got married. I mean, what have you been doing like outside of MMA?
Yeah, I know it's been a couple years. Well, so since my last fight was one championship, it's been about 3.5 years. For the first like year or so, year and a half, I was healing up from my injury, and then after that, I was full blown training in training camp, and then I got set to fight. I was set to fight Shinya Aoki, and was training super hard for that. And unfortunately, I got COVID just a few weeks before flying overseas, so that unfortunately didn't follow through. But other than that, I've been training pretty much nonstop. I'm at a great team out here in Sacramento, California, with Team Alpha Male, so I have great coaches. And then outside of that, I like going up in the snow. I go out like snowboarding, go wake surfing, wakeboarding, out on hikes, swimming, playing racquetball, all sorts of fun stuff.
What was that recovery like? Because I was actually there for that fight and it was scary to watch. And I mean, I'm sure it was scary to live through, but you always remained positive, like you always are. What was that
Right.
recovery like?
I think the biggest thing wasn't like while I was recovering. I think the biggest thing was just I'm a professional athlete, so I keep trying to push through stuff, and maybe just having the time to take off for that short bit to recover was the hardest part for me. Not like sitting back, not getting to do much, and so that was the hardest part, I think. Um, but but now I'm all good, all healed up. I'm excited to fight, super excited for One Championship's first fight in the US May 5th, and I'm on that card, so I couldn't be more excited.
And like I said, you're always known as the positive, happy fighter. Was there ever a time in that moment where you weren't so happy? I mean, was there a time when you really had to struggle with what was happening in your life?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, bad things happen to everybody. Sometimes people have stuff that might seem as a setback, but like for me, like I believe Jesus Christ has a plan for my future. So what seemed as a setback with the injury that I had, opens up so many other doors and so many different opportunities. So I'm excited now to be back, to be strong and recovered, and getting to get out there and show off all the hard work that I've been putting in, all my hard training, everything, and making One Championship proud of who they signed.
Was there any chance or any thought at any point, with, having the injury and then obviously COVID shut down things down for a while and then you got COVID, and was there any chance that you thought maybe I'm not going to get a chance to fight again? Or were you always sure that it was going to come and at a time soon?
Well, biggest thing is for me, I've always had in the back of my head, absolutely going to fight again. And me being so young, I think is one of the biggest parts, because even right now, I'm only 26, which sounds crazy. I got into sport very young. Before this, I was fighting in the UFC, came in there at 19 years old, incredibly young, fighting professionally very young, training my whole entire life. So it's like a lifestyle for me, constantly training, walking around in shape year round. And it's kind of a mentality too. So mentally, I've always been like, I'm gonna get back out there, and I want it to be sooner than what it's been. It's unfortunate it's been so long, but now that I'm coming back, I'm obviously focused on this fight, but I'd like to have a couple fights this year. If I can have another two fights after this, 2 or 3 fights, that'd be great.
Can you talk to me a little bit about your opponent? What was the thoughts when you got the name? I know, like you said, you were going to be fighting Aoki, a legend. So, how different is it going in now that you have a new opponent?
Yeah, Shinya Aoki is a legend in the sport. Great jitsu, legend in the sport. My opponent that I'm fighting, Ahmed Mutaba, he's had two spectacular fights. His last two fights, he had a solid knockout. In his last fight, he had a very unique submission against a decorated black belt jitsu. So definitely things to keep my eye out for sure. Definitely things that I'm training all around different parts of my game to be sharp for this fight and be prepared, and trying to make sure that I'm my best self stepping out there May 5th.
And you mentioned it's first time that One Championship's come into the US. I know I've flown over to Asia quite a few times, so I'm very happy
Right?
to have a 1, maybe 2 hour flight. I can imagine you're feeling the same way. What kind of pressure though is coming in knowing like you're on this, that everyone's watching this card. It's going to be a big moment. You're going to want to perform on this big moment. Is there any pressure?
You know, there's always pressure, no matter whatever fight you're fighting on, there's always pressure for sure. But it's, I guess, how you let it get to you or not get to you. For me, a lot of people may be thinking there's going to be ring rust, and that could be seen as a sort of pressure. But I've been staying consistent with my training. I've been training super hard. Like I said, I had another fight that was scheduled against Shinyaoki. So I've been in training camp. I've been training out here in California. I was training 10th Planet in Texas. Bunch of great instructors, great team out here in California. So I don't think that's going to be a problem for me. But you do get the butterflies, though. I know that's going to happen for sure. So going out there, you know, your nerves and everything, you're just so excited. I know that I'm going to be feeling that for sure.
And how do you think the American fans are going to react to a one championship live? You know, because there's obviously they see it on TV, but it's a different feeling when you're there. You know, the way they have the, you know, the announcements between the corners, the, you know, the confetti at the end. Like, what do you think the American fans are going to think of it?
I think they're going to love it. I think it's something so unique, so different. They're absolutely going to love it. Not only that, the rule set's really cool too. So I think it's going to be really exciting for everyone.
And I guess my last question for you, you know, it's been a while since you fought, but I know you're saying you want to fight a lot more. How many times do you want to fight this year? What's the game plan there?
Well, I know this fight's scheduled for May 5th. So gonna have this fight May 5th. I would like to have another fight or two this year. If I can get another 2 fights, so come out of this year having 3 fights, that would be fantastic. I know obviously I'm focused 100% on this fight at this very moment, but if I get to, definitely another couple fights this year. And I like to stay very active the next year too, have a bunch of fights.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time. I'm excited to watch you again in the United States.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm excited too. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing you in Colorado.
Thank you. See you soon.
Okay, cool. All right,
Bye-bye.
thanks. All right, bye.